Yeah, and obviously there is that that slight buff now between this interaction with Magnus and Omni Knight. So
yes.
Prepare
And specifically then Empower can be active with match
empower.
resistance.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually Magic Immunity. I really like that interaction now, and I think Loda is going to be in a good position to take this game by storm. But we'll find out here. Alliance, some introductions. Ace is going to be on that Centaur in the mid lane. We're going to have Hani on the Magnus. Down bottom, it's going to be Loda on the Phantom Assassin. We've got My Nuts on the Omni Knight, and Aki is going to be on that Skywrath Mage.
And over on the Dire side, you've got Power Rangers moving out into the Radiant jungle as 5. Dityara, their new, young, promising carry player on the Gyrocopter. Seneko on the support silencer. Shachlo, the explosive Russian player, or CIS player formerly of Relax, is going to be on the mid puck. J4, super support. His Earthshaker has been tremendous in these matches on Vengeful Spirit. And rounding things out, sitting in the base, Cheshire Cat on one of his signature heroes, the Nature's Prophet.
I like his set. Very nice set. I like looking at the NP items. There's so many good ones. I feel like one of the best cosmetically driven heroes. But looks like they are going to put down a bunch of wards here in the Radiant jungle. There is
yeah, I think you got to do this.
Wards.
They have such an and look at this. Are we going to have a rotation in the lanes here?
Looks like there is going to be. I mean, they see that there's so much pressure down bottom, and Alliance are like, well, Loda, just go middle, man.
I think this is. I actually really like this decision from Alliance. I think this is great recognition. And look at they're gonna keep the supports in a position where they can kind of float between mid and bot, depending on where PR begins with the pressure, because they have a really strong tri-lane here in the Gyro Silencer and Vengeful Spirit. They're going to be able to bring the pressure down bottom. But I like this response by Alliance. Yeah,
this is really nice, making this adjustment here, and Loda going to be instead facing up against this puck. This matchup is hard for the first couple of levels for the Phantom Assassin, but it gets better as you move forward. Although J4 looks like he's going to be laning middle as well. He drops the stun onto Loda, so adjustments from both sides here.
Yeah. And I think you're going to see this continue because both sides, I said initially that I think roaming is kind of dead, and I stand by that. But I think that floating, right, where you have two lanes where the supports can really make a big contribution on both sides, I think they can afford to float like this. You know, this isn't necessarily the traditional kind of roaming duo setup that you're going to see. This could be really okay. They're not going to try for anything on Shachlo, and that's very smart. I think, as you said, in the first couple of levels, it's just important for Loda to survive here and keep his CS up.
Yeah, this lane will get easier for him once he has a higher level in Dagger. He can commit a little bit less. He can also use that to annoy the puck. Shachlo then is sort of forced into the position where his spaceships have to be pretty much right on point. And then obviously he's getting healed up occasionally by this Omni Knight as well. But Hani is having some serious issues in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and this is kind of the other side of what they've chosen to do mid. The Skywrath and Minus's Omni have taken some pressure off Loda, but the expense has been that down in the bottom lane here, Hani just can't even get close. He's been completely zoned out by the Silencer Gyrocopter duo.
And in the mid lane, Loda now starting to recover here, and he is. Yeah, he's doing okay on CS. Well, it's pretty even thus far, and interested to see how this lane actually ends up turning out as the rotation is coming into middle here. It looks like he wants to snipe the bottle.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough... He's really got to do something here in the next 30 seconds. This is good timing because he knows the courier should be coming out right before the 3-minute mark when the upgrade to flying is possible, so he might get this done here.
Oh, if he gets this bottle... This lane for
Loda's
Loda
gonna come back
a
for
disaster.
it, but he got it. He got it easily.
Radiant's courier.
He did get the bottle. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that could have been worse.
Just
I mean, that's still bad for Alliance.
Comeback by Loda, that little decision to sort of come back and meet his courier. I've actually seen that happen now in a couple of pro games, and it makes, as you said, it makes all the difference in that lane.
I mean, that's a huge difference. That lane went from we lost our courier, that's annoying, to like it could have just been like this lane is now unwinnable.
Yes.
So, Hani now flexing his muscles on the bottom lane with rotations towards middle. Dityara needs to be a bit more careful here with now the Omni Knight helping out as well. And Hani sporting this new set gives you the nice new icons. Man,
action top here, Cheshire
nice
Cat,
hats.
a little bit of trouble. He should be all right. He should be able to get out here.
Looks like he is going to just barely make it out of here. Double edge. Oh, he's level 2. This could actually be really close. Maybe they're gonna get him. Oh God, he has 17 HP. Underneath the tower now, they're trying to be careful.
Oh
Aki
no,
gets
this is
off
gonna
the
get
arcade
it.
bowl. Yeah, he's dead now. Is Aki gonna die for his sins? Yes, he is, but he does get the
Totally
first blood.
worth it. Yep.
Worth it.
Yeah, I've heard a number of claims now that tower pathing problem is fixed. I have yet to see it be fixed myself.
Yeah. There's been some weird tower pathing stuff, honestly, and
Shachla could actually die here. I mean, he's going to be able to get away with his orb, but you know, this is the point in this matchup where the lane really does start to turn a little bit.
Yeah, this is when it starts to get scary.
If Shachla uses his phase shift, I mean, he's going to eat a dagger and possibly a crit to the face, and
Yeah.
Puck is not good at dealing with burst damage at any point.
And that's sort of the issue, right? Is if he uses the phase shift to avoid the dagger, it's very easy for Loda to just hop onto him. And if he gets a crit, then Puck is just maybe dead, you know. He only has 650 HP
Radiant's
to start
middle
with,
tower is
so
under attack.
looks like Shaklo just needs to be careful here. Regen rune for Loda is going to be very nice for him as well. And well, so far these lanes are settling out to be fairly even. The one thing I would say is that Hani is struggling here, but beyond that, things seem to be going okay.
Yeah, I mean, the lanes are pretty much breaking even, with the exception of bot lane, which has kind of been a disaster for Alliance. But we talked, that's the cost of picking the PA.
It's not awful. I mean, he still has some CS. He's still level 4. I mean,
he's a level behind. He's a level behind the dual laning gyrocopter, which Silencer obviously only level 3. Has been roaming a little bit to check the runes, but this is certainly. It's interesting to me because as things have ended up, Alliance are the ones that have failed to put any pressure on the opposing carry.
Mm-hmm. Well, Shaklo, he gets silenced up here, drops down the Dream Coil. Is that going to be enough to actually keep him alive?
He's fine.
Looks like it is.
Yeah, he's fine.
Loda just going to wander up the hill. Continue CSing. Loda's so casual about this CS. He's like, oh, I got Dream Coil, back to hitting creeps.
I'm telling you, the best individual level games I've seen from Loda recently, he's been mid. I mean, it's crazy because that's not necessarily the role that we think of him in, but that Terrorblade game at ESL where he just absolutely owned everybody, that was a mid Terrorblade that he played in that game, and he was solo a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Is under attack.
when you think about the way that the meta has changed, it's, you know, we're seeing much more farming heroes in the mid lane for some of these teams, you know.
Well, it's just about, I mean, basically, it used to be, the way it is now, laning position is no longer a completely reliable indicator of farming priority later in the game.
Exactly.
And it's good because for a while in 6.81, roaming was so important that the logic was very simple. If we're going to have all of our supports roaming around the map, Shaklo should be dead here.
Mid lane, it's going to be close. Loda actually eating a lot of damage here. Silence comes in. No, that's actually maybe off the mark. Loda, he's going to go down. He falls. Great rotation by Power Rangers. Aki, is he dead as well? Looks like he's just barely going to live. 10 HP.
That's a beautiful TP in there from Cheshire Cat, and this is
structures are fortified.
Anticipating that Nature's Prophet rotation.
Yeah, and this is when Hani being in that bottom lane is going to hurt them because, you know, normally they would have RP at this point, and Arcane Boots as well to make sure that they can actually defend against these types of ganks. You can TP in, skewer forward, RP them all together, and just easily take them down. But unfortunately, he's not in that position. So
yeah, I mean, Ditya is almost going to be 7 before Hani gets his RP up, and that's a scary proposition because even though, and I like, by the way, I like the fact that he has not gone Midas here. He's finished up his phase boots. He's got the Bassi. They're going to look to make some noise here, and I think it's going to be hard for Alliance to keep them off these T1s.
Yeah, this is smart because this is, I mean, it's basically a reaction to the fact that Magnus is underleveled, can't defend the towers, so they're just going to forego the Midas, continue the pressure, get some extra gold here. And, you know, Cheshire Cat can be extremely mobile, continue to pressure these other lanes as well. Shaklo doing okay for himself, has gone for the null, bottle. Very standard build from him. Going to be eventually working towards that Blink Dagger, which he is fairly close to. Considering he has top lane, they're going to move on Ditya Ra. There's the Stampede. They are going to stomp him into place. And it looks like they are going to get it. Is there going to be a return kill? Repel is on the Omni Knight. Shaklo going to try to make something happen here, but I think just a bit too late to the party.
Yeah, I mean it's hard as a mid player, especially of Chacho's caliber, to not TP in when you see your top lane get gone on. But that's one of those where you save your 150 gold and you get a couple more CS in the mid lane, because again, remember, Alliance's primary objective right now is to create space for Loda.
Yeah, and he is getting some decent space at this point. 41. 42 now CS for him, 41 rather. And
watch that DD rune bottled too. He can, if Shachlo uses orb carelessly,
Aki's here as well. This could very easily turn into a kill on Shachlo if he does get off a good silence here. He's gonna smoke up for this one. They want to kill Shachlo.
Yeah, that's a really big kill for Loda right now.
Oh, he just used. Oh, okay. He goes back to the orb.
Yeah, and that's a good recognition there. You've got to, at this point, I know a lot of people might be looking askance at that jaunt, but you've got to jaunt at that point.
Oh, he might still die though. Wow, again, good play. Very, very good play by the puck. Dodging that gank entirely. And that would have been a pretty big kill for him, because he's nearing the point where he can pick up a big item, although he does stop for treads, so he's going to finish those up before going straight for the Blink Dagger. Decides he needs the HP.
Yeah.
Loda going to get repelled up.
I think that's a good decision right now.
Maybe going to go down here. He is going to die, it looks like.
Oh, man.
Is Loda going to be able to get another one? He does have the dagger blink in 3 seconds here. They want to try to kill J4. Not going to get it. Doesn't. I don't think they can make it around there.
No, they would take too many tower hits, and there is time for a TP rotation.
Omni Knight continuing to do pretty well this game.
Here on the puck. Notice him winding his way, and if Loda does indeed abandon this position, especially if the Omni leaves, this would be an easy kill for Shachlo on the Centaur. Who does have his blink though. Wow, that's the saving grace.
10-minute Blink Dagger, 2-0-1. They've used those kills on Ditya Ra, and that's going to allow them to get good pickoffs here. I mean, Blink Stomp plus Aki dropping down the flare when he does have that. Not yet. Silencer getting gone on here, and they're actually going to force out a global with a TP reaction coming in as well. That's going to get canceled by the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
And you don't love to blow that ulti at these early levels for that.
No, and that's a, Power Rangers do have a few get out of jail.
Oh god, top lane Nuts explodes. Ace going to try to make something out of this fight, but looks like he's going to go down as well. And a good positional advantage there by Power Rangers, catching them with the Dream Coil.
Wow, and Alliance just getting a little bit too confident after knowing that the global silence is down.
Get taken advantage of. The Dream Coil sets that one up, and Cheshire Cat going for this new build, triple null talisman into Blade Mail, and actually, against Skywrath Mage, Skywrath will just instantly die. There's literally nothing he can do about that.
No,
he can't walk away. He can't kill him.
I think it's a great build, especially when you know that you've got a carry like Gyrocopter that's done very, very well in the early game. He's able to fight in the mid game, and I mean that's a build that if you're going to go that direction on Nature's Prophet, you need to be fighting, and you need to be fighting right now. But they have the items. Their team has the items that they need to do that. The Vengeful Spirit just completes up the medallion. Seneco's Silencer is a good way to his mech here. They're going to be in position where come about 16, 17 minutes, if Alliance haven't made a couple of things happen on the map, PR is going to be able to force some major 5v5 engagements, and they're going to win.
Smoke here by Alliance looks like it might not be successful. They're now just hiding behind Loda, hoping that someone will make moves on him, but they were looking for someone who were not able to find them. They're still going to go in. They move forward. He misses the stomp. Ace.
Dire's middle tower is
that's not great.
Yeah,
Loda, what's this build?
You can just see though, right there, you can see Alliance is feeling the pressure to make something happen right now. They know that PR's item progression is where it is. They know that PR is going to hit their window here, and PR is going to do something really smart and just try and take Roshan off the back of a DD rune on the Gyrocopter. I don't know how Alliance can contest this.
Ditya Ra is so farmed. Oh, they get a kill on Puck in the top lane. They are going to use the RP for that, and
that's huge.
Well, that's definitely going to clear out. That's definitely going to clear out Bush.
Yeah, Hani's got his Blink Dagger though. That's a big deal. I mean, Alliance are starting to get those items up of their own, but Minuts is woefully under fire. Even as a support, right? You want to see a 4-position Omni a little bit more progression at this point in the game, and Loda really nowhere near his first major item at this point, just sitting on Phase and Aquila and the bottle.
Yeah, stop it for that Aquila gives you the extra damage, obviously. it's kind of an interesting item choice because he doesn't really benefit from the mana too much. I mean, it basically guarantees you can spam out dagger. You always have
he's already got the
as
bottle
well,
for that. I mean, it's
exactly,
nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is 18 damage.
It's a lane control tool, okay? And I actually kind of like Aquila on Invoker for the same reason, is that he's a hero that can really get the lane pushed in on him in the mid lane if he's not careful. And that Aquila aura actually does allow you to manipulate the creep equilibrium a little bit. But yeah, I actually would have liked to see Drums, I think, a little bit more.
Yeah, give him a little bit extra HP. I mean, it does give him the 18 damage, which obviously is going to be nice, but we'll find out. Ace having some trouble connecting after getting this blink dagger here. We'll see if he's able to help get a pick off on Cheshire Cat. Magnus starting to come online now, has the arcanes, the blink dagger. Hani is going to be a formidable force here.
Yeah, but the big problem for Alliance is that Dityarat is starting to pull away on his gyrocopter. He's got the Helm of the Dominator, which is an excellent farming item in its own right on a gyrocopter. He is really going to start to, his farm is really going to start to accelerate here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Again, Alliance are feeling that pressure.
Yeah, and they need to figure out a way to do something about this too. Cheshire Cat looked like he was considering TPing into this top lane where Loda now resides.
In what I said earlier, it's really important, right, that I do feel like Power Rangers have the ability to force a big fight and win here, but the position that you really want to be in is to be able to fight and not have to. Loda may be dead here.
Luke's taking some pressure for sure. There's the silence. Dream Coil going to go down, and he gets right-clicked down by Cheshire Cat. Global silence.
Whoa, that's interesting.
I'm not sure what they were trying to make accomplish with that one, but
yeah, that's the second little bit of a head scratcher.
Questionable global.
Yeah, that's okay. They're gonna get this tier 1 tower up here, and this is important at this point.
Oh, Sunoku, he is dead in the mid lane. That's just the power of the Centaur.
That's fine.
It's not a big deal. I mean, they got a tier 1 out of it.
It's arguably the lowest value kill right now.
Blink dagger completed for the puck as well, and I'd like to see Hani try to participate in these fights very soon.
I agree. I mean, very soon meaning like 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 minutes ago, really ideally. But the issue now is Dityarat is going straight for the BKB. It looks like, and he's actually so farmed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that he has a very solid lead right now. And Cheshire Cat's Nature's Prophet is not far behind. I mean, he's not gone a traditional farming build, but to me, right?
I mean, this build's even more powerful for the money you have, though.
I agree. That's the thing. I feel like Nature's Prophet actually gets more value out of stats in the early game than just about any hero, right? Because he can be anywhere on the map. Just having him with a little more HP hitting harder is that much better, because he can be in an engagement anywhere, and he can not have to. I mean, people don't think about NP as a hero with mana issues because he can always TP back to base. But you don't want to have to TP back to base all the time. You want to have, you want to be able to split push and go right to engagements. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And Cheshire Cat's put himself in a good position to do this. I mean, he also has 2,800 gold on top of these nulls and blade mail, and I mean, when you have these nulls, they're very, very efficient on the damage you get. So he is already right-clicking for like 150, and we're at 16 minutes in. So no joke for Cheshire Cat, as he is playing a nice game thus far. And Alliance, I think, need to figure out a way to get a couple crucial pickoffs and then use that Magnus to win the fight. But, oh no, Dityarat is stealing their stack.
Oh my goodness, you can't let this happen.
That is a huge deal, because now that was the comeback mechanism. Hani is going to grab one. Minot's going to go down as well.
Boy, but the Maelstrom already in Cheshire Cat. Look at the damage he's dealing.
Jesus Christ. Loda taking damage. Ace taking damage as well. Alliance, I think they're just going to lose this game on the back of the farm of both the Gyrocopter and the Nature's Prophet. They can't do anything in these fights.
Yeah, they're just too far. Their cores are just too far behind in farm right now, and you just never saw. You never saw Loda get that big kill or get that big tower to sort of boost his farm and enable him to start to flash farm here in the mid game. And I mean, Gyro and Nature's Prophet are just hitting critical mass that much earlier.
Yeah, and this Gyro is a huge problem now. I mean, he has a BKB.
Forget it. Forget about it.
I mean, I guess he gets RP'd and maybe Loda gets a couple crits, but they also have the support here. He is going to go for the RP. He misses!
Yeah, there are...
Shock low. What a player. I'm assuming he phased that.
Yeah, I mean, think about how hard it's going to be, though, for the gyro to get out of position because PR have so much around him right now. They've got a Nature's Prophet that's going to be able to deal damage. They're going to have that global silence back up. I mean, it is going to be very, very hard for Alliance to isolate the gyrocopter, I think.
Shocklow is just putting on a clinic as well on this
really
puck,
is.
dodging
Really
every
is.
single dagger.
He's a wonderful player. I mean, it boggles my mind that a lot of people still don't know about him. And I understand that Relax, where he came from, isn't necessarily the best known team. But I mean, this is a guy that had like 22 kills on Axe in the TI4 qualifiers. I mean, he's an explosive player, and he's played extremely well for Power Rangers, despite all the roster instability.
Yeah, now they're looking to take down the tier 2 here. And it does not look like there's honestly that much that Alliance can do about it, but they're going to try right now. Cheshire Cat takes on the Blade Mail. J4 swaps himself in, taking the bullet there for Cheshire Cat. There's the BKB, and now they turn on the Guardian Angel. This is one saving grace for the Alliance in these team fights, but now Shocklow blows up Loda. He's gone. What a play. Perfectly played by the puck here. Cheshire Cat grabs Aki.
Beautiful.
Coil goes down. Ace is going to fall as well. Double kill for Shocklow. Now Minus beyond the tower. Cheshire Cat running them in. Hani's dead as well, and 5 down for Alliance at 19 minutes. What are they going to do about this?
And this is, again, we talked at the very beginning, this is how you consolidate an advantage, my friends. They have more than enough farm. They're not just going to push one lane, they're going to push 2.
Oh yeah, this game looks like it's going to be shortly over for Alliance. And if it is, Alliance are going to go down 0-2 to the Power Rangers, who have a 14,000 gold lead at 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was a little bit reluctant even to look at those graphs at this point.
God.
But yeah, I mean, the lead was there the whole time for Power Rangers, but it's been manageable up until the last 5 minutes or so when the gyro and the MP just both start to pull away. They make it a rebuttal kill here. Oh, great swap.
What a swap. Now they're going to turn this back around. The BKB is up in 2 seconds for Dinyara. Shocklow moving through the fight. A great RP though by Hani. Is that what they need? Unfortunately, the player getting split. Dinyara turning back around. Cheshire Cat right-clicking away. Triple kill. Dinyara might die. But what's going to be the cause here for Alliance? Minus is going down. Loda, the only one left in the fight. Is he going to go down as well? There is a Sprout here. Going to be very careful. Maskomatic's activated. Loda running away, but 4 down for 2, and Alliance are just crumbling.
Yeah, and even with the double blink daggers on the Centaur and the Magnus, they just don't have what it takes to isolate the gyrocopter in these fights. They just don't have the damage.
Yeah, they really don't. I mean, they can't kill all of these heroes with the NP doing so much damage. Cheshire Cat was like 1-1 a minute ago. Now he's 7-1. And he is just right-clicking away in these fights, and this is the perfect time for this kind of build when all of these early engagements are happening, and they have 2 huge sources of damage.
And we didn't talk about the Mask of Manus build on Loda. I mean, I think that it's debatable. I don't hate this item decision, but I hate this item decision when they're not able to exercise control in these team fights, because they absolutely have to have AoE control and have Loda with that Mask of Madness and empower up hitting people in order to do damage. And you saw it in that last fight with the reverse polarity. Loda was able to get a couple of hits in, and you saw PR's HP start to go down, but it just wasn't enough. They didn't have any follow-up, and they were never able to bring down that gyrocopter, thanks in large part to a brilliant swap by J4 close to the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, those have been very, very impressive in the last 2 fights. Loda going back to work with the Empower. We're going to try to recover some of that farm that he's lost. And unfortunately, I mean, I think part of the reason that they almost won some of these fights is the Omni Knight, and now there's a Diffusal Blade on the puck.
Yeah, that's a great build.
Yeah, this is very unconventional, obviously, but it's not like they're short on damage. So Shocklow going for the utility here, I really like this.
Yeah, we're starting to see Diffusal make a comeback. It was the 4th least built item in 6.81, and I believe it's already been built more times in this patch than it had in all of the previous ones.
And continuing forward here, what can Alliance do to get back into this one? I think they need the game to go as long as possible. Yeah,
you need, at this point, you got to be in full turtle mode. I mean, with a PA and Magnus, right, hope is never entirely dead. Yeah, I mean, they have a lineup that can clear waves really fast. They can turtle into their base fairly nicely, but the Roshan is going to hurt, man. I mean, they're going to get an Aegis up on Dityara's gyrocopter, and we've pointed out they've had a hard time exercising enough control to bring down the gyrocopter once. Bringing him down twice is going to be tough, and he's
other
going to have an MKB in another 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have an MKB, and then Loda is going to die very, very, very quickly, repel or not. So that's a huge issue for them, coupled with the fact that...
Oh, and Loda's gone. Loda's just gone pure damage, and this is what you have to do, and this is the flexibility that we've talked about, right? The Omni and Magnus combo does give you the flexibility to go straight damage items on PA, but boy, there is so much pressure right now on the 2 Blink initiators, Ace and Hani, to lock down the PR side.
I mean, part of the issue here, I feel like, is even if you go mega late game, they're going to be up against a Nature's Prophet. And, I mean, despite the fact that he's gone for this early fighting builds turns into split pushing build very, very quickly, especially if you just grab something like a Blink Dagger, so...
Well, but here's the thing, okay? In the late game, PA and Magnus is one of those combos that, especially with the Omni Knight on board, can just straight up win you a fight. Like, the other team makes one mistake, gets caught in a 4-man RP, and the fight is just over. Yeah, but again, you need to get to that point, and you need to keep Loda alive in these fights. If PR can bait out the repel, they're in big trouble.
Agreed, yeah. Now, looks like PR is just going to continue the pressure here. And they have the Aegis down on Dayara. He has the MKB now as well. And... that seems like a winning set of things for him to have to just push in the base.
Yeah, I think so.
This game.
I think Aegis and MKB is definitely all you need at this point. I mean, Loda is going to take so much damage if he pops that Mask of Madness.
And continuing on forward here, like we already mentioned, they have the puck for the defusal for the Omni kit. They have now the MKB for the damage on the Loda. And I think a miracle play by Hani is really the only thing that's going to bring them back into this game.
Yeah, and even then, even if Hani gets that miracle play, I mean, he's forever away from Refresher. I mean, he's opted to go 4-step, which is important. He needs to get the perfect RP, and he needs to be able to protect Loda to some extent. But even with the perfect RP, Ace needs to be in position to follow up after that to give Loda the time to do his damage.
And now they're just pressuring, like...
this missile harass is so annoying now.
Is under attack.
What can Alliance even do to this? Because they have to commit to fight against this. They have to use Stampede. They have to use RP. They have no way to clear out these waves without committing here. And they're just going to keep eating missiles.
I mean, really, you're down to hoping that PR bunch up here. Because you've got to initiate. I mean, Gyro's going to bring down the barracks right there.
Yeah, Raw. Maybe you're going to lose one life, but J4 with another amazing swap. Pulls him out of the danger here. Ace going to go down for nothing.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And I think that might be an RP on Dayara, but he is still going to try to go to work here. Loda trying to make something happen. The Guardian Angel, but they are way back in their base. The Dreamcoil going to take down one, and I think that is all she wrote for the Alliance. They're going to try to kill Shockwell here, but nope, he's still alive. And PA dies again, and that's just it. What a clinic by the Power Rangers.
Yeah, they really had the superior laning phase, despite what I thought was some good recognition of the laning matchups early on by Alliance. Power Rangers were just able to get more done around the map early on, and they were able to get that Gyro to a point where he flash farmed into victory. That was a great performance by them. As you said, just a clinic in consolidating an advantage.
Yeah, and that was sort of what Alliance could not do in the last game. And
exactly.
A well-played game by the Power Rangers, and that's going to put them at a 2-0 victory over the Alliance. And I have to imagine there was probably some rares lost on that one. The Power Rangers, I mean, I guess Alliance have had some issues.
Anybody who's been watching lately, I mean, Alliance is a team that's just clearly not at their best right now, and I mean,
it looks like it was 51%
the strain is showing. These guys are still amazing individual players. I have no doubt that they will have success in the future, but as of right now, this is a team that's really struggling, and PR, you know, I know a lot of people are down on these guys and have been for a long time, but they've got some real talent on this squad, and they're starting to come together nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that concludes our first series of the games here for Dota Pit. Travis is going to be bringing you the next series in Mont, and looking forward to seeing what Alliance can do against Complexity. But thank you guys for joining us. I'm Whatasip. With me, Nahaz at Nahaz Dota. You can find him on Twitter for all of his wonderful statistic insights. And any last words from you?
No, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. Shout out to our chat, and I will see you guys next time.